What's going on, PMs? This episode of Fireside PM Podcast, we're going to talk about what it takes to become a successful product manager if you are in a different function and you're thinking about or aspiring to become a tech product manager. I've got three things in order of difficulty. So we're going to start with the most straightforward and then we're going to level up with each new one. The first one is product requirements documents, PRDs, if you will. They are talked about often, and there's a bunch of templates on the web. Ultimately, their purpose is to help you convey what you think needs to be built and why to usually engineers and designers, but also other cross-functional stakeholders. Biggest mistakes I've seen people make with PRDs is they're either too long and then become obsolete pretty quickly, or they're not done at all. That's the other extreme, in the name of agility, but also because of kind of lazy PM syndrome. But if you can write a really good one, it's an invitation for a conversation with your engineers and designers more than anything else. But it's an important skill to have in your toolkit. And after you write a few, you'll learn that different engineers and designers require different levels of detail. Sometimes it depends on the feature itself or the product. But that's one of the things you want to do well. The next one is roadmaps. So roadmaps are basically, left to right, a bunch of rows and blocks in rows. Each row is a theme, and they kind of indicate what's coming, what's coming soon, what's coming next, what's maybe for future exploration. They give a lot of PMs heartburn, I think partly because you don't really know for sure what's going to work and how long things are going to take. It requires a ton of alignment, and you're worried that people are going to say, hey, how come, such and such isn't listed, or why did you list this one, or why is this one ordered to the left of this other one? So roadmaps are really important to do, and kind of like PRDs, it's better to do them badly early than to try and present like the all singing and dancing, perfectly lined up roadmap, but take too long to do it. Okay, now next level of difficulty, OKRs. Now, a lot of people think about OKRs and they're like, oh yeah, objectives and key results. How hard could that be? And one of the things that I've learned over the years, and I've heard other people say, is if it only takes you a few minutes to write up your OKRs and to finalize them, you're probably not doing them correctly. OKRs are often some of the hardest things to get organizational alignment on across functions and across levels of seniority. And part of the reason is that they usually highlight differences of opinion about prioritization that sometimes get swept under the rug in disparate PRDs or even on a consolidated roadmap. So when you can agree to the 5 big OKRs for a team or organization, and they're stack ranked, and you're picking very specific measurements, that's where kind of the rubber hits the pavement. So OKRs are definitely crucial. Next level down is mostly relevant in larger organizations, but definitely smaller ones as well. And this one is about exec reviews. Excuse me. So let's say you're pitching a new project, or you're having to provide an update on an existing project, or you're providing an update on the status of your OKRs, or you're presenting next year's roadmap. Usually there will be moments where you're going to gather a bunch of people, usually cross-functional leaders, into a room or into a virtual meeting with you presenting a bunch of slides and getting a ton of hard questions, and it can be a little nerve-wracking. Doing exec reviews well takes a long time to kind of hone your style and understand the organization. Definitely a key part of being a successful PM. The next skill is human alignment. So let's say you get your PRDs or roadmaps or OKRs, you're getting through exec reviews. There will usually be major differences of opinion about strategy, customer focus, problem to prioritize, approach to building the solution, whatever it is. And it's usually going to be housed within the minds of key, influential, strong minded, really smart people. And building the one on one relationships to try and reconcile and resolve conflicts or constructively escalate them to get decisions made is probably one of the hardest things for any PM. It's certainly for an aspiring PM. So definitely a skill to develop. And the hardest, of course, is building winning customer obsessed products. Because of all of these other topics, PRDs, roadmaps, OKRs, exec reviews, human alignment, sometimes, maybe more often than we care to admit, we lose track of why we're all here, which is to build products that solve customer problems, solve big customer problems in a sufficiently superior way to alternatives to justify the activation energy for a user to try your new feature or product. And that's really hard because oftentimes we're focused on, maybe not even focused on a specific customer, or we have a great customer selected, but we're customer type selected, but we're not really prioritizing the biggest problem that they have or a major problem that they have. Or we've got the right problem, but our solution is only like 20% better, classic, slightly better mousetrap. And then it doesn't justify the activation energy to get them to embrace your feature or product, change their workflow, and take a chance. And then that results in a product that isn't winning. So that's probably, if you do everything right, that's, it all culminates in a product that's kind of going up and to the right in usage and revenue. Hopefully these 6 items are things that you can think about if you're considering becoming a PM, or maybe you're already a PM and you just want to make sure you're doing an inventory of your capabilities for next year. If this was interesting to you and useful, do me a solid and like, share, and subscribe or follow. And let me know in the comments what I missed. I just kind of jotted this down before hitting the record button. But these are the things that I think, a aspiring PM should have on their checklist. And lastly, if you are interested in getting PM coaching from me or participating in a boot camp that I'm offering on the weekends, let me know, and you can learn more at pmbootcamp.co, and we'll hopefully talk to you soon. Bye, PMs.